Am I the a-hole for not inviting my stepsister who bullied me to my wedding? My father remarried when I, 25F, was 14, his wife Mary, 49F, and his stepdaughter Kyla, 26F, were hell in my life. My father is wealthy, so we used to go to a fancy school. Kyla was very mean to me, and I had a hard time to the point that I had to move to another school because I couldn't take it anymore. Once she convinced my father and Mary that I was pregnant, it was so embarrassing because I was still virgin. And yet, she and Mary convinced my father that I should do a pregnancy test. After it came negative, she told some of her friends at school, she was 1 year ahead of me, that I had an abortion. The bullying was nonstop. She would do anything to make my life miserable. Once she paid one guy at school to start a rumor that I did a BJ on him during class. When I was already going to another school, she told everybody at my old school that I left because I was caught stealing at the mall and I was in a youth detention center. My parents had split custody, so I used to spend 1 week with my father and 1 with my mom. After 2 years of hell, I told my father that I wouldn't stay at his place anymore and our relationship was reduced to 2 weekends a month. My relationship to my father was non-existent during college days. He would send me money and call me once every month and that was it. I went to his house 1 or 2 times during my 5 years in college. I started dating my fiancé Louis, 26M, 4 years ago, and I only introduced him to my father after more than 2 years of relationship. I am getting married this spring, and we are going to marry at a beach in another country in Europe. Both of families are wealthy, and we decided to offer the stay at the hotel to our guests, and they'll pay only their tickets. Because of that, we decided to settle on a small number of guests, around 80, and of course Kyla is not one of them. The wedding plan started 3 months ago, and my father knew that I wasn't going to invite Kyla. However, he flipped out now and said that I need to invite her. I said that I am not going to invite a person that I don't have one single good memory to such a big day. We've been fighting about that since then. This last week he told me that I shouldn't count on his money if Kyla isn't invited, and my mom said fine, I'll pay for everything then. After that he said that he's not coming to the wedding without Kyla, and I replied, fine. My grandma and aunt are trying to convince me to invite Kyla for the good sake of our family, but to be honest, I am not even sure if we are a family. Am I the a-hole for not inviting a person who bullied me for years for one of the biggest days in my life? Talar, my stepsister, used to bully me, and I don't want to invite her to my wedding. My father says that he's not paying or coming to the wedding without her. Edit. I just want to say thank you to everyone. I had a hard time and I just left that behind because I wanted to move on and be happy. But with all of your comments, I started crying because you're right. He never showed me love. It's so hard to admit that your father doesn't love you because that's what parents should do, right? They should love you. I can't answer everyone, so thank you for helping me. Edit 2. There's a lot of questions about how much everyone knows about the situation. My father was up to everything and he never took it seriously. My grandma lives in another country, and I don't know how much she knew at the time, but she knows at some extent now. My aunt knows everything because her daughter is one of my best friends and my bridesmaid. As I pointed out, my family is quite wealthy and they care a lot about family and legacy and those type of things that doesn't make any sense to me. However, it's very important for them.